Hello everybody, welcome to your first video of Saturday, and this one is all about fake news. A little video that I've wanted to make for a little while is just to kind of look at the way that news or fake news and information is kind of broken down. It's taken from, say, one site or one area and say then gets to a different point and then a narrative changes. And one of the biggest ones that came out of last month was this one here. So this is a predictions puzzle which was produced together by Cosmic Marlon, who I do follow on Twitter, and as well when puts together these spends a lot of time and effort to put together stuff when it comes to like predictions of dates, logical characters, those kind of things. And as a lot of you know, I do produce something similar myself. It may not be exactly the same scheme of things, but does keep in mind several things like, well, you know, who I think is going to be a question mark, not the date though. All of that is very important because now it's all about the journey. Where does this information go to then be changed, and also say the credit of where this is from, so therefore people can fact check this, because obviously we all know about fact checks, especially if you're the DT, the big presidentee. You'll know all about the fact check stuff when it comes to, well, Twitter, and mainly, you know, you've got to fact check, you've got to have some research when it comes to these things. Where's this source from? But where's the next point that we see this particular image? And that is here on MCOC Guide blog. Now, I'm not going to say that it's their fault, because at the end of the day, this could be information that was provided to them. But the fact is, this is where things change. It doesn't quote or kind of like say that this was from Cosmic Marlon, and as well puts more emphasis to say that this is a hashtag leak, and as well gives information as to, well, these could be characters that are released on certain dates and times. Now, there are a couple of people in the comments that do actually say that this is from Cosmic Marlon's post. Actually, one person saying that, and a couple of other people agreeing with that as well. But there are some people that were reacting to this in a way that this was actually a case it was going to be leaked as a definite thing that was going to happen in Marvel Contest of Champions. One of the reasons that I decided to wait until now is just to corroborate that this was obviously definitely 100% predictions against what actually was put into game, which, as you can see over there, is a case it doesn't really give the idea that, hey, Hitmonkey and Tigra, and as well when it comes to July, which Otrok said we might be getting a tech, does it fall in line exactly with what could be in line for the future? If not, it's going to be something, you know, something like Wizard, Phantom X, could be anything that's tech related or tech associated, but still we're up to a point of going like, look, between one place and another place, number one, the quote is not there as to where this is from cited, this has been cited from, and the second thing is that it's now changed to be that it seems to be more of a dead set of a leak. So there we go, one place to another place, but the situation has changed with what it actually is. This then leads people to make content like Skull Nerd making content here on the situation. Obviously, for the sake of himself and many others, looking at where this information came from, he would only be fitted with a narrative that, look, this is a leak. So again, what he's been doing is he'll be reacting to leaked information. So this isn't his fault. And if you are a member of the Portuguese community, go and support Skull Nerd. But obviously, what he's done is he's been given information which is not the snippet of where this information naturally comes from, which is Cosmic Marlon, and as well could be taken from that MCOC blog kind of post. So that's the thing, this could be taken from that, and obviously that is what he's reacting to, because, you know, by all intents and purposes, potential leaked information or rumor to be leaked brings to light that maybe, look, you know, this is what's going to happen to the game in the future. And unfortunately, again, the same thing happens, where another prominent YouTuber will make a video on this particular stuff. Whether or not they've been sent this via line saying like, hey, well, these are the champions that are going to be released in the next few months, which unfortunately even turn out to be incorrect information. The point of this video is not to cast shade, but it's really to point out where information can largely go askew, from when it starts off to where it can be cut up and changed dramatically, to where it can be like put on things like the Line app, and a snippet or a micro part of that story could then be kind of exaggerated, or only just like the misinformation could be then sent to X, Y, and Z person, and then it becomes a case that it then becomes a video, which in this case, this is one of the scenarios where it has done, and as well when, you know, the narrative, the research, and as well the coverage is just incorrect based on where we've gone from one place to another place. This situation is made a little bit more embarrassing when Gabriel Fazera, who is the art director for Marvel Contest Champions and Marvel Realm of Champions, says in a response, this post, obviously this is in Portuguese, this post that had a lot of people thinking it was a leak and was actually just somebody guessing in the community. To be honest, there's a lot more mistakes than hits on that list though. And that's the thing, I love predictions, I love like linking story arcs and stuff. I love it when people kind of go like, okay, well I believe this champion could be in place here because of this reason and this link to this one. But a lot of times, you know, look, even I'm wrong with that puzzle, but I love the idea of speculating based on logic, story arcs and things like that. It's just when you take something like this that somebody's worked hard on, but the problem is when you change that and you make it represent a leak, that then you give this kind of fake coverage. And again, a further reason for me doing this video is just having people, you know, say to me in comment sections, get in contact with me and saying, why isn't this champion released this month? I thought we were meant to have Wizard, or I thought we were meant to have somebody down here from June. Why aren't we receiving these champions? Has Kabam changed their mind? It's like, Kabam haven't changed their mind. Everything was based off of here when it came to future champion releases. Then that's wrong. Kabam are doing whatever they want to do with their release schedule, and they won't reveal that. Because obviously if they say, right, for the next year we're going to release these champions, then you go like, well, there's no element of surprise. It keeps you kind of like a bit bored and kind of lifeless with where the future is going. But it's nice to speculate, and it's nice to kind of like have an idea close to the time of what character is going to be released, rather than knowing the full extent of the next 12 months. There we go, that's been a little deep dive. Obviously for a weekend, I thought I'd just put together this video. I was just thinking about what content to put out this weekend, and I thought I'd just kind of showcase this story from a point of going like where something can start off as very kind of nice as a little predictions video and then can spiral out of control to be something of a leak down the line. It's always interesting, obviously for me, I do a lot of research into the way that I cover some stuff on Marvel Contest of Champions. I want to make sure, obviously, when I see something like this, just to say, look, you know, this is where things can spiral out of control a little bit, and obviously you just need to kind of understand where sources are. Make sure you do your due diligence and research effectively, especially if you want to cover anything. It doesn't just have to be Marvel Contest of Champions related, but if you're thinking about doing YouTube or covering stuff from a news point of view, it's looking at several other stories and make sure that you are bringing together everything that you possibly can do. But yeah, been a very interesting video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Check out some other content recently put up over here, and I'll see you all for fresh content. Well, the podcast will be fresh, and as well Monday back to the old fresh content. So I look forward to seeing you there. Bye bye for now.